Welcome back to another episode of Boys Love Exchange 3, where we talk about straight culture.
The straights are at it again.
We talk about two cultures we have no concept of in reality, straight culture and Korean culture.
Yes.
We're both actively not a part of either.
So I think it's important that our voices are heard.
Right.
Absolutely.
I'm well.
Would you like to tell the girls the weather? We're your weather girls.
When I went to the gym this morning at like 8.
Okay, weird flex, but okay.
It was -11 Fahrenheit. So for the Celsius girlies, that's, I don't know, -100? I don't know. I have no idea. There's no way to know, really.
It is currently -1 when I walked Friedrich.
Yeah.
And he's clomping in his heels.
Yeah, he's got his little booties on.
He's got his little booties on. And he's just like...
So here's episode 4, right? We watched episode 4.
Mm-hmm.
Not a two-parter.
Not a two-parter.
Okay, a little of that goes a very long way. They had 3 dates and they did texts.
There are 4 dates, but we only saw 3.
We only saw 3. So we only saw 3, and there's the texts were sent.
The texts were sent.
So that's all we're gonna truly be kind of really covering.
I'm gonna say this is gonna take 40 minutes at most.
The recording.
Yeah.
So then you'll cut it down to 30.
Yeah.
The two that do not go on a date in this episode are Hyeon and Junsung.
Junsung is from his man
Jesus
too.
Christ. Yoo-jung. I'm so sorry. Okay.
So Hyeon is going on a date with Sungho. Sungho and Junsung broke up, and now Sungho is
huge.
in the show.
Hyeon and Yoo-jung.
We don't see their dates.
We have not seen their date. So if you are only watching our recaps to know about Hyeon
and Yoo-jung,
listen, subscribe below.
So you can see next week.
Click the button, RJ, add the button right here. Subscribe. Bling, and we'll see you next week.
I will say there's not a lot of Yoo-jung in this episode. There's a little bit of Hyeon. Because the seeds are being planted.
There's a little of Hyeon. And honestly, the other one there's not really a ton of is Seokyoung. Even though she goes on a date.
Because she's sick.
She's ill. She's come down with fever.
Fever. You give me fever. Yeah. You look at my tit?
Look at the stain on your sweater.
It's not a stain, it's water.
There's only a couple things I want to talk about outside of the things that I had already discussed that we're going to talk about. One is this. Let's just discuss the Hyeon Hye Won situation.
Yeah. They're okay.
Back and forth.
Listen, you said it. It's easy to cut a ribbon before you actually see him.
Yeah, because I think what we have discerned is that they did that before they even went on those like little cafe tic-tac
I think
dates.
it was on their way to the house. So the cafe dates had happened like a week before.
Oh, okay.
Because they're wearing what they're wearing.
Oh,
when
right. They're
enter.
wearing with it. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. So never mind. Cut that.
Nike, Adidas, Nike.
That's what they do on Housewives. Do you know that?
They say a brand.
They'll make the show meta.
You would say go to sleep. That means you're done being filmed for the day because they're not filming you when you sleep.
So when you'll like tell production I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
And then that's like contractually probably like
that's
they
why,
can't film you past that.
Yes. So that's why there's a clip of when her and Kelly were fighting. She was telling Kelly to go to sleep.
I can't believe we're discussing a show I have never watched a full episode of Real Housewives of anything in my life.
And you know what? You know what you should watch?
That's not true. Well, no, it is true. It is true that I've never watched that. What I did watch was the entirety of the Real Housewives of Orlando.
Oh, yeah.
And that was great.
That's funny.
So on Exchange 3, there's a lot of back and forth. Hyeon, Hye Won, blah, blah, blah.
Well, it goes with the text, right? Hye Won is still confused that Hyeon texted her in that first night.
Night 1, he texted her. Night 2, she texts him. But he doesn't text her back. And she doesn't get any texts.
Hye Won is just not in the mood.
It's tough
for love.
It's tough. I mean, you want to get texts, obviously. That's the social capital of the game.
Yes, it is the hardest part about these shows because I mean, we saw it in his man too. When you continuously don't get it, it's like
it feels bad.
it feels really bad.
It feels bad. So it's totally understandable why she feels this way. But it's also then like he had texted me and now he's not texting me.
Right.
Even though she was the one who cut the ribbon.
But he doesn't know that.
Right. No,
he doesn't
I know. It's just funny. Like you would think if the idea is like if you've cut the ribbon, you're saying you don't
then
want
I don't
care.
I don't want my ex to text me.
Right. But like
Because
you
he
can't
did.
not help the one to be like you still want to be desired.
Yeah.
And the only person you can be really mad at for not desiring you is your ex.
Yeah.
Because they did at one point.
And it's interesting because in that first night, she did seem like jealous that Hui Hyun and Seokyoung were hitting it off.
Yeah.
Because they were at the end of the table.
Well, and he's jealous about her and Kwang say.
But exactly. It's very classic. Do you want them to get back together?
Those two, no. I mean,
I wouldn't be mad if they were like, let's try this
see
again.
more of how what their dynamic is.
Yes.
Which we will get, I know.
Yeah.
Because even though we got their backstory, I still felt like I was like,
There's still parts that I'm not getting.
yeah.
Even though but that's the thing. There might not be a lot because of how short
Yeah,
they dated.
It was like 4 months.
So it really does feel like I'm attracted. Maybe it really feels like a new relationship. More than anyone.
yeah.
It feels like, especially in this episode, they're just acting on they're attracted to each other.
Yeah.
It's just playful flirting.
I think K1 is a natural flirt.
So, which I didn't expect it out of her.
And not like in a very charming, cute way. I think she just like banters really well.
She does she'll look at you. Like she's waiting to see how you react to what she says, and then she'll say it.
Yes, and she also gives huge she laughs a lot. She thinks everything is really funny.
I mean, the fucking grilled clams. You would think she had never seen the ocean before. Maybe she hasn't, but the way she reacts to the ocean
because she's
later,
been to the beach before. She's been to that beach before, freshman year of college.
oh, that's right. But she reacted to it as if it's like,
But I think that's just a cultural thing. It feels like every reaction is always so big to, I think, make the other person, especially if it's
I
he's
brought you
bringing
here.
her,
Yeah.
so she's gonna be like, oh my god, this is so great. I think it's very.
you could probably do a little bit of that sometimes. I think.
I feel like I do that a lot with your cooking. I'm like, this is so good.
I was gonna say maybe you should do it more often, but then maybe you should cook these.
Yeah, let's talk about things we should be doing more often, RJ.
Yes, I do the cooking. Yes.
And making a salad doesn't count.
Adam, that is a dinner, okay?
It's so sad.
It was a good salad.
It was a good salad.
We had
I
salad
mean,
for dinner today. You ate most of it, yeah.
It was good. But it's still sad. I mean, it's still sad. No one's the propaganda that of the women eating salads meme is there's something in city. Big salad is really big farmers.
Yeah.
Are big lettuce.
Big lettuce.
Big
And
iceberg.
Iceberg lettuce, huge conglomeration.
Yeah. Titanic's going down. Sorry. I think they're just a little, we don't know what's going on with them. The other thing I want to talk about is Kwang Tae asks Da Hye
to go out.
to go jogging with him tomorrow morning.
Yes.
From day 1 to day 2.
Yeah.
Or day 2 to day 3, I should say.
So the text that she gets is from him being like, get ready to run at 7 a.m. tomorrow.
Yeah. And do you think he's interested?
I think he's playing the field. I think he genuinely is interested.
I am convinced this man's ex is not there.
Oh, yeah.
There is no way. He feels way too comfortable.
I think Kwang Tae is going to have a Gyubin moment where as soon as she arrives, he's going to clam up. So I think he's interested in both Hyewon and Da Hye. I think I think he's genuinely attracted to Da Hye, and I think he matches well with Hyewon. I think that's the situation.
I also think that the guys, she is wearing her heart on her sleeve. She's very,
Yes.
it's clear she's very emotional about all of this. And she is justifiably so.
Yeah.
And I do think to some extent, I don't know how many guys want to be like, yeah, I'll take this case on.
Yeah.
There are few of the what was his name? Hyungyu? Who ends up with Hye Won?
Kyung. But mostly because by the time that he comes, since it's so late, Haein is a little bit more settled, and I think they're in Jeju, so it's easier.
Yeah, I just mean in general, there's few of those type of men
who's
who
like,
are ready
I don't
to be
care.
like,
I don't care if there's bag, because I think what he finds out, like, or when they go on their first dates, Haein was like, "Do you care that I dated like this long?" And he's like, "No,
yeah,
I want you, Nuna."
Nuna, 사랑해요. Oh,
Shanghai was watching the show. Did you see it?
I did.
On Bubble, he said, "Nuna 안녕,"
Yeah,
which is what Huihyun said.
Huihyun said to Hye Won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shanghai, ni hao. If you'd like to join our recap series, let me know. Could you imagine if I were like, hey, Nate's watching Exchange and wants to do it with us, so we're jumping on a StreamYard with him. And then we log in
and
StreamYard,
I get it on it.
and it's Zhang Hao.
I wouldn't even know. I would be like, is this a bit? Is this like a video? Is this a recording?
Call? Yeah.
What am I looking at?
It's like,
and then I'd probably die. Can we talk about the show, please?
So they go for a run.
It's very sweet. They have a lot. I do think they have a lot of chemistry.
Adam, I think we have to go for a run by the Han River.
Oh, by the Han River. I was like, you want to go running right now?
Negative one? Negative one, Nancy? No,
by the Han River, we can do a little run.
We make a little city boy vlog.
Yeah, I'll bring my inhaler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They get along.
They get along. And I think he says he really did it to pull her out of her funk.
Yes.
Because he was like, I don't even like jogging.
Yeah.
But I wanted to
make her feel that she's having fun here.
Yeah, and also
I
think if we go look at nature, it'll be really nice. Running by the Han River is always really
running
relaxing.
Children with nature. Yeah.
Those are the two big ones. Okay. Let's talk about these texts. Day 2. Seokyoung, 1 text. Yoojung, 2 texts. Hye Won, 0 text, as I said. And Da Hye, 1 text, and it was from Kwang. Okay. The show does this really annoying thing. By the way, when they do 0 texts, they'll be like, your ex didn't text you.
We know.
And
she didn't get a text.
Now, I understand for them, they're not receiving a number 0. They're receiving the message.
They're just getting that text.
Right.
Yeah.
So I understand that. But we, the audience, you've already done the graphic that they are getting 0 messages. So you don't have to then re-explain that the ex did not message them. We understand that. We're watching the show.
It's so funny that you're annoyed by that.
Unless, now I just might contradict myself. Unless the reason they do it is because some people's exes aren't there. So if they get no texts, but they don't, have they ever done no text but no ex text?
I think Guman got it once before she arrived.
Kwang Tae's down, unfortunately, to 2 texts, down from his big 3.
It was very cute. He was like, well, I guess I did feel a little disheartened.
That's funny. Huiyeon has 1, and it's from Hye Won.
It's like have fun tomorrow, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
Something like
well,
that.
It's pretty much the opposite of what Dong Jin gets, which Dong Jin gets a text from Da Hye.
It's
and she
don't
says,
have too much
don't
fun.
have too much fun tomorrow.
Girl,
even if you're trying to do even if you do the little squiggly line to be like, haha, I'm being cute. I just wouldn't. I just would leave it alone. I think the best if you're okay, you're Da Hye in the situation, right?
We do look alike, yeah.
The ultimate goal I think she has would be to get back with him.
Yeah.
I think that would be like her ideal situation currently in this present moment.
Currently
on the
how
show.
she's feeling and how, yeah.
I think best case scenario is you leave him alone.
I think your strategy was right. You have to let him realize that it's better with you.
Yes. You have to seem easy breezy beautiful.
But you have to watch him do that. Watch him go on dates.
You have to feel absolutely insane.
You have to
you have to be like an insane person to be able to do that.
Yeah.
But you'd have to be able to be like, I'm so cool. This doesn't affect me at all. You do whatever you want. I'm so happy for you. But don't be too cold.
Don't be too cold.
Because,
don't be human.
Right.
Human.
But you can't be too like, I need you back. You can't be too needy. It's just got to be like, oh, if it works out, it'd be great. But if not, it's whatever. We're different people. We're at different places in our lives. You got to feel like that. And then he can be like, wow, she's grown so much.
But she can't even look him in the eye.
No, and bitch, I couldn't either. I would be looking at his titties.
And here's a snapshot of those. Yeah. They're bazoomas.
He's so hot.
You know what that
so annoying.
I get it. I
Girl.
fucking get it. A man that looks like this, feels like this, tastes like this, and then like will literally did everything for you because of how much he loved you.
Yeah. I mean, I would feel bonkers.
Yeah.
Yeah. And not in like a fun way.
No.
No.
Like I'm losing my mind.
Juwon also gets no text.
He's like,
I
he
think
feels
that's
cool.
probably expected.
Yeah. I don't think people have opened up to his charm yet because he's definitely a person that's like,
I didn't know his charm until this episode.
Exactly.
Oh my
I think
God.
because he even says it. He's like, I've been holding back how playful I am, how playful I really am in real life.
Right. Let's do Seo Kyung and Kwang Tae
Yes,
because it's the shortest.
it's the shortest.
Least amount of screen time.
She has the flu.
She has the flu. She goes to Dong Jin for him to give her.
She's like,
medicine.
I can't find the medicine box. Did you see it? And it was exactly where she looks. But
Yeah.
Dong Jin found it.
It's the first time in recorded history the man has ever found something a woman couldn't find.
He
So-
gives him a vitamin. Like, this will make you feel
He gives
better
her
too.
vitamins. She takes her medicine.
very
She goes
sweet.
on this date with Kwang Tae. They go to this library. We find out that actually the reason he chose it was because this
That's
is
where
where
they first met.
him and his ex had met because they were both
They were asked by a mutual friend to pose for his photos.
as like couple
as like a
photos.
couple photo.
Yeah. For his folio. For his portfolio. So then they go to an espresso bar to wake her up because she's tired.
And throughout the date, she's like, I wish I could like banter more, but I just don't feel well.
Yes. She is a very unique personality.
She says there was this one time of like they're eating food.
Yeah.
And he tries some of her food and she's like, oh, that's really good. And she's like, oh, is it? He's like, yeah. And she goes, why? Why is it good?
It's so funny.
And it kind of like took him for surprise, like, so yeah.
Yeah, she's fun. I like her.
And that's why I think her ex isn't there yet. I think she would be way more reserved because even when she read the ex letter, she like cried to herself.
Mm-hmm.
I think if he was there, I think
just none of these men seem like her ex.
yeah, I think it's gonna be a little baby boy.
You think so?
I think so.
Oh my God. Please, God.
I think it's gonna be like a kitty woody.
Oh, good. That's
Just
what
what we need.
Yeah, just what I need.
Another straight man to follow.
They take these couple pics together
yes
with this camera.
ginormous.
First of all, the biggest
Polaroid.
camera I've possibly ever
But
seen.
it had a screen
It's a
and
screen.
then printed it off.
So it's like a Polaroid, but you can like choose if the photo
Yeah.
was good or not. So it's
Braze-
the satisfaction of it's the instant gratification, but it
Of
is
a Polaroid,
like
but it's a digital camera. Please tell us where do we get this camera?
source the camera for
Please
the
tell
girls.
us. We need this camera.
We need this camera for Korea.
In Manila too, Adam. Don't forget.
Yeah. Mabuhay. For when I meet Eugene Dominguez,
Your new favorite actress.
my new favorite actress.
Yeah. She is like, the Olympics of character acting. She is.
Honestly,
It's a like calling.
I'm trying to
She's
think of.
destined to do it.
I can't even think of someone off the top of my head who is that committed to character actress work in America.
I think Melissa McCarthy, but they keep putting her in the same role.
Yes, that's true. They just have like this little banter. They tease each other. It seems to be a perfectly fine date.
Fine date.
But I would also say sparks are not flying.
No.
Now it could be that she's ill.
Sick. But I also think they might be better friends. That I think they'll end up kind of kikiing.
I think that. Okay, I don't know about that, but I think I think they would be better as like acquaintances, casual friends, blah blah blah.
So last time we had one ex reunite in the last season. I think we're gonna have more than one ex reuniting this season. It feels like Ju-won and Seok-young don't want to date new people. They haven't shown that they're like outwardly attracted or want to go for anyone. But I don't know if that's because you think because you said all of them are introverts.
There's a lot of introverts.
But I don't think they're as outward as that. Because like last season, Nayeon, it was clear. Nayeon was like, you.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. I think a lot of them last season were very like
Ji-hun, I think, the youngest girl.
Oh yes, yes.
She, I think they were way more outward.
Okay, let's talk about, you brought him up. Let's talk about Da Hye and Ju-won, their date.
I really like this date.
I liked this date a lot. So they go to a vinyl record store, basically,
where you can listen to stuff, and it was so funny because they were figuring each other out the entire time, which was fun.
So she's like, she already knows the answer. This conversation started because he said, "I think you were in a long relationship,"
Yeah.
And she said, "I think you were in an adequate long relationship." And he said, "What is adequate? How do you measure that?" And she said, I guess like 3 to 5 years.
Because she knows it's 3 years.
Because she knows it's 3 years.
But for Ju-won was like,
most people would say 3 to 5 is long.
So now I know.
So if you think it's not long, then girl, we know how long you're together. And she was
face correct. She's like,
shit. It was very funny.
Yeah.
And then
at the record store,
because they still don't know ages.
Ages, yes.
And so they do this whole bit where she was like, "Oh my god, I love this artist." And he was like,
TVXQ. It was
was
Changmin.
it? Oh, yeah. That's so funny. So she was like, "I love TVXQ."
I think she said I was a Cassiopeia. Isn't that crazy? That's their fandom name.
That's their fandom name. I thought for some reason because I was writing notes. I thought she said I like the song Cassiopeia, so I was like, oh. But maybe it is. Maybe yeah.
We're going to Google it right now, and the answer's right here. But she says that, and he's like, oh, now I really know how old you are. And she goes, damn.
It's very funny, and he laughs, and his smile is very sweet and charming. We
had to freeze. We stopped it for once, right?
Stop it because I was like, oh, he's so cute.
So cute.
I don't know. I think he's going to be my sleeper.
I think so, too.
So,
they're listening to CDs because you can like listen to CDs and cassettes and stuff. And so they're sitting and listening to a CD. She picked out an album and they're listening and they're talking and she's kind of singing along to it. He takes off the headphones and like kind of has them halfway so that he can hear her sing and like,
she's being really
loud.
Yeah.
And he was like, I just wanted to listen to her like have a good time. Because he basically says that she really hasn't had a good time since meeting her.
Yes.
And when she realizes how loud they've been talking, she's like, have we been this loud? And he's like, yeah, there's no one in the store, girl.
It was very charming. There's like a very good rom-com energy to this date. I don't know if like I could see it.
I could see Ju-won being the one to break her out of the shell.
That's true.
But I don't know who else she would be interested in.
That's the rub.
Because between the 2 dates that she's had today,
right, one not being official,
but I think the sparks were flying way more with Ju-won than Kwang Tae.
Yes, I mean it's hard to fly sparks when you're jogging. It's hard. It's tough.
Yes, because she's like, we should go here.
River's beautiful. So then they go out to a cafe, or a restaurant, and they have a little dinner. And we find out that it was where it was his birthday.
It was his birthday, and
he and his
there.
ex went there for dinner.
Yes, and then she was like,
because in Hongdae,
he was like, "Oh yeah, I would just walk here," and she was like, "Oh, so you live close to Hongdae? Cool." And then
they do a bit about being able to be like, "Oh, I can see your house.
I can see your house. Oh, your
laundry's out.
Your laundry's out."
It's funny.
And then in the talking head, she's like, "Yoo Jung has talked about living in Hongdae too."
Oh yeah, because they're roommates, and they were roommates.
So she's like, "I am 100% sure."
I mean, I also believe it too.
Out of all of them, they're the other couple that I believe is in here right now.
That's why I think it's so. Kyung's the only one that I'm like a little unsure. Maybe. Sharing a lot about his ex. I don't know if you noticed this. At the restaurant, he was like sharing a lot of anecdotes. Not specifics, obviously, but talking about her more than I thought
he would let on.
Yeah, I was surprised. So I'm curious if I don't think he cut the ribbon.
I don't think so either. I don't think they both did.
Him or his ex?
Yeah.
Him or...
If it was Yoo Jung, I don't think
Yoo-jung?
Yoo Jung did it either.
Oh. I could see Yoo Jung cutting it.
I could see
it. All depends on, I think, who breaks up with who. Everybody who's broken up, who's done the act of the breakup, has cut the ribbon so far.
But Hui Hyun broke up with her.
Oh, that's right.
Girl.
Cut that out. Nike.
Go to sleep. I'm going to bed. I'm going to sleep.
Should we talk about the big date?
This is the big date. This is the big one. The big clam.
There are two big ones.
Huh?
On his chest. They're giggly and flirty on the drive. It's a little awkward at first.
It's awkward at first.
He is like, I think he's getting anxious. And then we find out it is not just... So in the last episode, we found out that it was like, oh, he went there...
when he asked her out?
The last episode, they only said it was the day before he went to enlistment. We found out this episode, he went there before they got together. He went there when they officially got together. He went there before the enlistment, and then he went there after he got back from enlistment. It's a bold choice to choose this location. He has plenty of memories there. I would probably choose, like, we went putt-putt golfing once, and I have no discernible memory of even who won.
Yeah. But Dong Jin is so convinced that he needs to get closure from this relationship that I could see him being like, well, let me take the Band-Aid off and go to the one place that I know will be difficult. And I think if I can get through it then I know I'm ready to actually move on. But that's tough. It's as if, like, if we were on the show and you took people to the Cheesecake Factory on
Valentine's Day, our beloved tradition.
Our tradition. You wouldn't be able to. You'd be so...
What are we going to do this year? We're going to eat a salad at the Cheesecake Factory?
The salad you eat from now... The salads that we're going to eat every day.
Offset.
The
2,800
the one slice
pasta
of Adam's... what is it? Adam's Dream or whatever?
Adam's Peanut Butter. Adam's Peanut Butter Dream Cheesecake, I think is what it's called. It's so good. Cheesecake Factory, if you would like You're welcome to sponsor us. You're more than welcome. Yeah. I can easily find ways to drop Cheesecake Factory into the episode. Absolutely. Easily. For many shows. BL, survival. Doesn't matter. Dating. Doesn't matter. Across the board. Yeah. I'll figure out a way to put it in. Yeah. Put it in like the cheesecake I will be putting into my mouth. Yes, absolutely. On February 14th. And the many options and choices that we have at the Cheesecake Factory. This date was so long, like the many pages of the book of the menu of the Cheesecake Factory. This date. It's very sweet. They walk around the water. They kind of like take the same picture that Dong Jin has taken many selkas with Da Hye. Yes, it's his first time being there with another person. With another person, yes. It's his first time taking a selfie together with another girl. Yes. Both Da Hye and Dong Jin, it's been like years. Like 15 years. Around 15 years. Since they were on a date with someone else. Yes.
And Dong Jin doesn't specify in the talking head,
he doesn't.
which makes me think I don't think he's ever gone on another date with another woman.
Yes,
Besides
that's
Da
my
Hye.
guess.
God.
Because also, like, I don't know. I mean, this is
They
a
had
great
breaks,
question.
but
They
I don't
did have
think
breaks, but they were always like, it was the next month is when they got together. Also, my question was, do like high school dates count? When you get to our age, which they are, like, I don't know if I'd be
count.
like, okay, well, you didn't go on any dates in high school, so.
yes, I did.
With who?
With
a girl?
With a lovely girl
No.
who's now a lawyer
I bet she is.
in Sedona.
And her name is She-Hulk.
And she was a great friend. Okay, she saw what
What
I
did you
never
do
saw.
together?
Just go to movies. Eat at Whataburger.
Were you dating?
We technically were dating, but we
Wait,
didn't do
what grade was
anything.
this?
8th grade. And then sophomore year, Greece.
Wait, that whole time?
No, 2 different times.
Same person.
Same person.
Oh, so you did exchange.
Exchange.
Wow, so you really get this show.
That's what I'm saying. And I think just like the Cheesecake Factory knows quality food, I know what's it like to date an ex.
A little of that goes a very long way.
Anyway,
I dated a girl too
okay, cool.
in 7th grade.
Sure.
And our song, we had a couple song.
We
Do you
had
want to
one
know what it
too.
is?
What was yours?
What was yours?
What was yours?
What was yours?
Mine was Every Time We Touch by Cascade.
Ours was 1-2 step.
We about to get it on.
Everybody
Again.
1-2 step.
And Gen Z wants to bully us when we've gone through so much trauma.
The amount of trauma I've gone through. Dating a woman.
Dating a woman in middle school.
Dating. I think the most we did was hold hands. It was 7th grade.
Yeah, literally.
I don't even think she gave me a kiss on the cheek. Like, we were like, I don't even remember why we broke up. I think she was just on the phone with me and she was like, I don't want to do this anymore. And I was like, okay. And I wasn't like upset about it.
Yeah.
My first real breakup in high school,
Yes, you've talked
Miss
about this.
Girl.
Yeah.
carrying the box of tissues around.
Carrying
in
a box
classes.
of is it like
But it also felt, I will
Grieving.
say that I was grieving and I was very upset because at the time nothing that bad had ever happened to me before,
Yeah.
except for like my dad leaving when I was little. Anyway, but I do think as a gay dramatic person, I do think there was like a little bit of
absolutely.
Are you going to be shocked if I say I was a little self-indulgent with my first breakup? Maybe I didn't need to cry in every class that I went to that day.
God, girl?
I'm a very normal person. Mm-hmm. Normie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You love Impractical Jokers.
Such a stupid reference. Okay. They go to have grilled clams.
Which
The
she
beach
was
is-
told.
They're known for
They're
grilled
known
clams.
for the grilled clams, but she was like, okay. In her talking head was like, I know she said I shouldn't because he doesn't like them. But he was the one who was like, let's do grilled clams because that's what they're famous for. You should have them. And she was like, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure?
Right.
Because she doesn't want to pressure that,
Right.
obviously. But he does. He does do it.
And
Because
he,
it's fucking
and he cooks them.
And he cooks them.
Yeah.
And they're so delicious. They are this big.
They're the biggest clams I've ever seen in my
These
life.
scallops, the scallop shell looked like the scallop shell from Animal Crossing.
Yes.
They were like perfectly orange and scalloped. I was like,
Striped, the whole thing. Yeah.
I guess we're going to this beach, girl.
We're not going to this beach. I hate to tell you.
I think we'll need a car if we try
Yeah.
to go to this beach.
I'm not driving around Korea.
Yeah.
I feel
Not
like
yet.
that's a really bad idea. To rent a car in Korea, I'd of course rent a Hyundai. Sorry. But this is his pattern.
This is his pattern.
He's like, oh, well, I'll give up the
give
fact
up
that
the
I
thing,
don't
yeah.
like these.
And that's the thing. It's so second nature to him now.
He has developed it. It's like his
It's how he
on one hand, it is very. I mean, it's
Absolutely.
It's very
That's
much
what you
putting
want, right? Like you would want someone to.
You want a healthy balance, though, is the problem. You want someone who is like, of course, going to be able to put you first and not be a selfish person.
Yeah.
But you can't be selfless.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, that ends up becoming selfish again. Because then it's all about how
you've done everything.
Yes. It works its way back. It's the horseshoe theory.
Yeah.
He forgets his wallet. They have this really, really nice dinner, and then he was like, "Oh my god, I forgot my wallet."
Oh my god, I forgot my wallet.
Because he was worried about
because of the amount of times he changed.
He took off his shirt,
which girl
could have done a few more times.
Could have done a few more times. They were huge.
His body is crazy. If Exchange 3 pops off, like
Exchange 2. Or like even
he's
like Singles
going
Inferno.
to be on the cover of Korea Men's Health magazine.
Absolutely.
No, not a question.
Not a question. And I don't think he has an Insta.
He probably has one, but no one is.
They're not allowed to do anything until after the show anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right, because we watched Exchange 2. They were already.
It was already over.
That's how I knew that they got back together, because I followed Hidu right away.
I still follow Han.
I used to follow Hidu.
I love her Insta.
Yeah.
She's curated a great Insta. So she pays for dinner. Then they go to an arcade or like an arcade-ish
It's
type
arcade-ish
place.
type thing, and there's a shootout gallery.
BB gun.
And he gets a perfect score every time.
Because
he was in the special fucking forces.
Like, what's his name from Singles Inferno 2 last year?
Yeah. And now he's famous. Like he's like
and now
he's variety shows.
He's meeting twice.
He's meeting twice. So that's what I'm saying.
What are you saying?
That he could have that too.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I didn't know what you were saying. I didn't know if you meant we could do something like that.
No, I'm saying the delicious food at Cheesecake Factory.
Stupid. So he wins all the whatever. He goes to get a prize. There's like a moment where she's choosing between a teddy bear and a rabbit.
He was like, "Oh, get the teddy bear." Oh, and then like realizes that teddy bear is Da Hye's thing.
Da Hye always would.
Which the night before he was wearing a teddy bear sweatshirt, a sweater.
Was wearing a teddy bear sweater,
and everyone was like, "Oh my god, that teddy bear is so cute."
Yes.
We didn't even talk about how anytime Da Hye and Dong Jin
are in the same room,
he would
walk out of the room.
He would walk out because he can't even like pretend to have a fake conversation that he doesn't know her.
I'm worried we're heading down the human path.
I think so too.
Where it's gonna. I don't think she perceives it.
She knows
as
what's
cold.
going on. I think she knows why.
Yeah.
But you can only be understanding for so long. Mm-hmm. If it keeps happening, it's like, okay, then what the fuck?
Yeah.
But she does go check in on him later that night.
Yeah, when he goes to sleep.
And sees that he is like stressed in bed. So she's like, okay.
She doesn't say anything.
She doesn't say anything. She just sees it.
Smart. Don't say anything.
Don't say anything.
And then at the very end of the episode, they're on their way back. And she was like, because she thinks it's Da Hye.
Yeah.
And she is like, what did you think about
Da Hye? Did you hear Kwang and Da Hye went out for a run this morning?
Uh-huh. And he was like, no, why would I care about that?
Yeah.
They did what? And then he was like, I could never get her to do that in our relationship.
Yeah. Credits. Because he thought that Kwang was her ex.
Yes. Oh, yes.
They think, yeah. When you're in there, all you want to know is the exes.
Oh, that's all you want to know.
That's all I want to know.
So that's all she wrote.
That's all she wrote.
I'm excited to see next week's episode.
It's so.
My drama list says there's 2 episodes coming out next week.
That means we're getting a couple. I think we're gonna get Juwon. Either we get a couple or someone new comes.
I think someone new is coming. And next week we will be recapping with.
So next week Zhang Hao will be joining us to recap both of those episodes.
Yeah. So it's really hard to find. It's like finding the time is really hard, but
so just stay tuned. We'll let you know. We will be filming at the Cheesecake Factory, so we'll have to figure that out as well.
I'll be eating my wood plank salmon.
I'll be eating my egg roll sampler.
Oh,